Hey, Hakeem, the floor is yours. Get started. Please introduce yourself. Tell the people where are you tuning in from. Talk to them about the information that they have. But before we do that, where is everybody else tuning in from? Drop your locations in the chat because we want to make sure that we service you guys tonight.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you again so much for the invite. My name is Hakeem Muhammad, and just want to do one more check to make sure everyone can hear me. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat or give me a thumbs up if you can hear me.
We can hear you.
Okay. Excellent, excellent. So perfect. My name is Hakeem Muhammad. I am the community homeownership advocate for Bank of America, and I specialize in providing home buying assistance to everyone that's a renter to take them from
We lost you, Hakeem.
Okay, hello. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, got it. So I heard that there was one part that y'all missed, but overall I'm representing Bank of America. And in this process, we're going to talk about the program. We're going to demystify some of the things that you've discussed. Most importantly, get some of your questions answered about the program so that you can have the utmost confidence and clarity for the next person that you talk to, especially your clients and counterparts. Let's get into it. Let's get ready for this fireside chat today. I am excited.
Hey, one of the first things we should probably do, Hakeem, is talk to them about the program, talk to them about the cities that qualify, what exactly is going on. I definitely want to tap into when they say like no money. Does it truly mean no money, Hakeem, or does it mean that I may have to bring in some money, or maybe later on I'm going to get hit with a $20,000 bill? Talk to them about that, the fine lines of what they're seeing all over Bluestream, what they're seeing all over TikTok and everything else. And then what we'll do is we'll open it up for questions and answers.
Perfect, perfect. That's an excellent segue. So let's talk about it. 0%, 0%, 100% financing, 0%.
You're muted.
All right, there we go. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this program. So what we really want to talk about with this program, it is 100% financing. So the question really comes into play is what are you paying for? You're going to be paying for the only thing that you're going to be paying for during this process is going to be insurance and taxes. That's going to be your prepaid items. So that means we're going to cover covering your closing costs. And by covering your down payment and your closing costs, that allows most of the payments to be taken care of for you.
You're muted again. Can't hear you, Hakeem.
All right. So just want to make sure, did everyone hear that properly?
Hey,
No,
we
we missed
lost
that
you.
part.
So if you want to back up a little bit, we highly appreciate that.
Absolutely. Let me just go ahead and take it from the top. So the Community Affordable Loan Solutions Program with Bank of America is a program that allows you to put down 0%. You heard me right. It is 0%, 100% financing. That means Bank of America is going to be taking care of the down payment as well as the closing costs. The only thing that Bank of America does not pay for in this program is going to be the prepaid items as well as the insurance. So when you ask the question, what are you paying for? The only thing that you're going to be paying for is going to be the prepaid items as well as the insurance. And it is only in Miami-Dade County out of the entire state of Florida. We are piloting this program to be in Miami-Dade County. Now, will this go into other states? We're working on it. This is a pilot. It just launched 24 hours ago. And by it being launched 24 hours ago, we're testing it out. We're testing the market, and we're testing to see how this sticks before we roll it out nationwide. I hope that makes sense.
Hey, it definitely does.
Yeah.
But let's not forget the other states as well. So Dallas, Texas, if anyone's from Dallas, Texas is with us tonight. Detroit, Charlotte, North Carolina, and LA also are one of those cities that qualify for the program as well. So if anyone's tuning in from any of these areas or sister areas, do know that, hey, you could definitely relocate there. But if you are in the 305, we will be excited to work with you. Go ahead, Hakeem.
That is absolutely correct. We are also running this program in Texas, Detroit, North and South Carolina. So you have definitely made a good point with that. But right now we're piloting it, especially for South Florida. We're specializing and focusing in the area of Miami-Dade County for now.
Phenomenal. So, Hakeem, there is a minimum income that is required. Talk to them about that. Talk to them about the 100% financing, but that you guys are assisting them with 10 to 15K of down payment assistance funds. Talk to them about the 30-year loan. And then, Hakeem, when we say no minimum credit score, people are thinking, hey, I got a 300 credit score. I got late payments. I got collections. I got repossessions. I can definitely qualify. Definitely talk to them about that, because I do understand that you guys are going to be looking at other standard current payments to qualify these people into the program.
Yep, that's absolutely correct. So when we talk about, first things first, let's talk about the down payment portion. The down payment up to $15,000, which means that they will cover
Can't hear you.
We lost you again, Hakeem. I don't know if you want to maybe turn off your Wi-Fi. If you're on a mobile device, I don't know if you want to turn off your Wi-Fi. And maybe that'll assist you a little bit more, so we can give the people the information that they came on here for tonight. Hey, technical difficulties. The information is so hot. He's running into technical difficulties, but he'll be back. In the meantime, go ahead and drop your questions in the room so we make sure we cover them. In the meantime, drop your questions in the room to make sure we cover them. But just as you heard, this is definitely some great information, and it's definitely a resource and a tool that's going to assist everyone to get into homes. I think one of the best things about it, so as we've been hearing, as we get Hakeem back in the room, back in the space, what we've been hearing is that, man, this is steering. How are we telling people to move into the areas? But then again, if we think about this is an opportunity to create home ownership. This is an opportunity to create wealth. What's happening right now is the high prices throughout Miami-Dade County, the high interest rates. It's having people to think that, man, I can never obtain a home. I can never own a home. Home ownership is not even in the vision board for 2022. But now we have a program that's here that's allowing you to pivot from thinking that way and saying, man, home ownership is definitely an obtainable item for me. So even though we're battling, let's say, for example, the high prices, but now think about this. If I can save the $30,000 I'm about to put down within my down payment and my closing costs, and I can renovate a home, or I can add to my home, home, I can definitely say, man, this is a starting point for me right here. So let's think about it that way. So as I hear people say, man, this is steering, it's an option truly to say, man, do I want to move with the program or do I not want to move with the program? At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the option to decide if we move forward or not move forward. But once again, it assists us in a different way to continue to say, man, home ownership is definitely an obtainable item. Home ownership is definitely something. So that's been my response to people as they said, man, why are we steering the folks? We understand that that's against the law, but truly no, it's an avenue. Once again, think of it as an avenue, just as when the government launched the Hero program so many months ago, and it was a phenomenal program that's still happening till today. It was another avenue. And what I'm hearing right now is that they're even thinking about other ways to add to that Hero program to say to the people, man, our police officers, our CNAs, our LPNs, our doctors, that we respect you and we honor you and we thank you for your work. So there's a question that just been dropped into the room. Before we do that, I want to see if Hakeem is with us. Hakeem, are you here with us?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I
Hey,
appreciate
beautiful.
you definitely being. And I didn't even want to interrupt you because the information that you was telling us to the public right now was so insightful, so exact that I'm just truly grateful that you brought me on this conversation today, as well as hosting this forum today. So yes, you're absolutely correct. This is just another tool in the toolbox to make sure that we have affordable home ownership for us because people of color has been marginalized when it comes to home ownership and real estate ownership for that matter. So we want to make sure that we're putting together a commitment to our community. Same with the Hometowns for Hero program, but here we're talking about the Community Affordable Loan Solutions program, which is just another tool in the tool belt to make you from becoming home renters to turning your clients to homeowners.
Beautiful. So while you were away, someone dropped a question. The question came from Shirley. She says, hey, what is the minimum credit score and are there any income requirements? Talk to us about that, Hakeem.
Excellent, excellent. Perfect question. So here's the answer to that. There is no minimum credit score. You heard that right. You can have as a 500 credit score and still get pre-qualified for this program. So the main question comes up to say, okay, if you're not checking the credit score, what are you checking? Most importantly, we are checking not the credit score, but we're checking the credit history. So what we're checking is see, okay, have you been making your on-time payments to other creditors? Have you been keeping your promise to other creditors, such as your credit cards, your installment loans, your student loans, your car loans, these other obligations that you have on your credit report, have you been making them on time? And if you've been making them on time within the last 6 months, that's very important, within the last 6 months, your credit score is a non-factor. Long story short, to summarize it, Bank of America is not paying attention to your FICO score. We're paying attention to your FICO score, how much you are willing to keep your promise, keep your obligations, and keep your payments on time every time. I hope that made sense.
Definitely. What about is there a limit? Like I want to purchase $1 million property. Is that gonna work? I want to purchase a $800,000 property. Talk to us about that.
There we go. That's an excellent question. So how it works on that, we don't want to tell you that you can't purchase $1 million property. But what we can tell you is that there is an income cap. The income cap for this particular program is 150% area median income. For example, in the state of Miami, Florida, Miami-Dade County, the area median income of 150% area median income, or AMI, is $99,900. All you have to do is just check check the state and the city where you're living in to see what that area median income is, but it is 150% AMI, area median income. For example, it's Miami-Dade County, 99,900. Now, okay, that's fine, Hakeem. That's the income threshold. I don't make $99,900, but I still want that $1 million house. Can I get it? Sure, if you can abide by the debt to income ratio requirement. So it's just like a conventional loan where instead of the debt to income ratio or the back end ratio being at 45%, it is now at 50%. So if you make under $99,900 and you have to make sure your debt to income ratio is under 50%, that automatically, with the taxes and insurance alone of $1 million property, knocks that out. So that's a way of saying no without saying no. Because the real thing that we want to know is, can you make these monthly payments consistent? And that's how we keep it balanced. Does that make sense?
I follow you.
Excellent, excellent. So that's kind of the way how we're making that community homeownership commitment. Now, one of the questions that may also come up is, does this apply for every single property that's for sale in Miami-Dade County, in Texas, in Detroit, in North Carolina? The answer is no, not necessarily. It's based upon the geographic area. So it's based on a certain zip code. And if the property lands within that certain zip code, that allows you to purchase that property for 100% financing. So the next question that you may be asking is, okay, if it's a certain zip code, how do I know which zip code? Easy answer. Of course, we can go down the list and I can give you the entire algorithm of zip codes and say, check out 33142, for example, don't stay away from 33056. That wouldn't be good enough. So we simplified that process, and I'm going to send this over to Jeff so he can disperse it to you all. There's a wonderful program called the Real Estate Center by Bank of America. This real estate center allows you to literally take the city where you live in, Texas, Detroit, North Carolina, South Carolina, Miami, Florida, and put in the address that you're looking for, or even better, put in the county or the city that you're looking for. And by putting it in the real estate center, it works in parallel with the MLS. So that means that the same properties that you would see on the MLS that are active are the same exact properties that you'll see on the real estate center. We have a partnership with the multiple listing service to provide this for you in real time. So you can take the same properties that your real estate agent will send you, and you can cross-reference that through the real estate center. And in the center, you'll be able to see the little logo if this property qualifies for the 100% financing community affordable loan solutions. I hope I covered everyone's questions in that, but of course I'm open for more. Let's keep them firing, Jeff.
Definitely. Hakeem, I haven't seen an answer to this just yet, but I did notice that it came up as a question earlier as everyone was going back and forth on the lives and the discussions that's been happening in the last 24 hours. We understand that it works definitely for single family homes and it works for townhomes, but we haven't heard, Hakeem, yet. Does this work for a condominium?
Yes, yes, it does. It does work for condominiums. Now, there's a catch to that. It absolutely works for condominiums. However, we also understand, especially in the area of South Florida, I'm not sure how it is in Texas, North Carolina, or Detroit. However, these programs, most of the homeowners associations do not have the right type of reserves. They may not have the right type of insurance. Those things the banks look for. So on the mortgage perspective, the condos will apply. We just have to find that condo that has the necessary reserves, that has the correct type of master's insurance policy, that has the right type of balance between primary residence owners and non-occupant or investor owners of those properties. So if the condo qualifies for bank financing, it will qualify for the 0% down financing.
There you go. So guys, the same guidelines do apply. You heard him talk about investors. So no more than 51% of it can be owned by one individual party. The same guidelines that would go for any conventional FHA or condo financing that you guys are doing. Hakeem, I think the number one question that I think everyone has been discussing, and I think we haven't actually dropped it in the chat just yet, but they want to know, how long is this going to take? Are they looking at a 60-day process, 120-day process, or a process of it never closing at all? Talk to us about that.
Oh man, that is an exciting question, man. You are just lighting my world up right now. These questions are excellent. The process for this entire process for purchasing using the community affordable loan solutions, that's going to take about, I would say, about a 35 to 45-day process. Why is that? Because this community affordable loan solutions is nothing more than a conventional loan. It is just a conventional loan where Bank of America has agreed to pay the down payment as well as the closing costs. That is the only difference between this convention, like a regular conventional loan, and this loan. Now, the turnaround time for this is a 35, 45 days, but here's the catch. Before, especially for my real estate agents and those who represent their clients, you must take a certified HUD approved home ownership counseling course, and not just any homeowners HUD approved counseling course. This has to be done specifically within our groups that we've been training secretly, of course, for the last 90 days. You have to go through them. So far right now, we have 6 in Miami-Dade County that's assisting us with this program. The clients have to go through either one of those 6 HUD approved homeownership counseling agencies. And Jeff, I can share you the list. I can also share you the list for the ones in Texas, Detroit, North Carolina as well. You have to go through their course. It's an 8-hour course. It can be done in the web or it can be done in person. But after you do that HUD approved counseling, you have to have what is called our one-on-one intensive counseling, where that counselor will sit with you and go over the budget. We will go over what is payment shock. They'll go over what is the interest rate. They'll go over your rights as a homeowner. And those type of things is where you take it to the next level of a HUD approved home ownership counseling. We're not just going to do the 8-hour course, you get a certificate. No, we take it to the next level. They have to get an assessment. They have to pass a certain test. And this test is in that one-on-one counseling. So depending on how fast your clients or yourself for that matter goes through that HUD approved counseling determines how fast you can get the loan closed. Now, what I recommend, and I'm going to be telling real estate agents this next week, you guys are hearing this first, literally within 24 hours. So you're getting the real scoop beforehand. What I'm going to be telling real estate agents, realtors, builders, anyone that represents the client, make sure that you go through the counseling service first. Get the certificate first before putting in any contracts. Why? Yes, the process will take 35 days, just like a regular conventional purchase agreement. However, we don't know how long it's going to take for yourself or for the client to finish that 8-hour course. 8 hours doesn't mean they get it done in 8 hours. And then they also got to go through the level 2 intensive one-on-one counseling. Now, they have full control over how fast they knock that out, but there's no telling how fast they actually do knock it out. So you get that certificate first before putting in any contracts, putting in any offers. So if they can knock it out fast, you get in that 35-day window. I wanted to make sure I know it's a little bit of an extensive answer, but I really wanted to make sure you guys got the details, and I really drove home the point on what drives the speed of this process closing for a new home.
Hey, we love it. We love it.
Excellent, excellent.
So they're asking you to do consultations with their buyers. So I don't know if Hakeem, if you could just take a quick moment and drop your email and your phone number in the chat. Drop your email and your phone numbers in the chat. Guys, I always stay connected with the best. If we're looking for a housing counseling, I definitely have one, which I'm going to drop to you guys as I release the vehicle. Hopefully you were able to register for this so you can get the information, every link that he spoke about. every counseling session that he spoke about will be provided to you guys post this call. So make sure if you haven't registered, go back and register so that we have your information and we have the most accurate information. So Hakeem, just take a quick moment and drop your phone number in the chat if they wanted to connect with you. So there's a question that came to me. It says, how long will the process last? According to what we heard earlier, a buyer can easily close within 45 to 60 days, given that they've already taken the first-time homebuyers course, they have their certificate, they've already attended Hakeem's counseling session, and that the house does not fall into a condominium where they need to check the reserves. It is a fee simple opportunity, and you can definitely close once again within 30 to 45 days. Hakeem, how far back on the credit histories are you guys checking when you guys are talking about checking the credit scores or checking the history of payments? How far back are you guys going?
Well, so far we're going all the way back towards 120 days. The idea is that when we pull a tri-score credit report where we check TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, we're looking at what's on that credit report and we're looking at the inquiries for the past 120 days. The real question is, what's going to show up on that credit report that you have done within the last 6 months? Now, if you missed a payment last year, that's okay. But have you made up for that payment? Have you been consistent ever since that last 30-day payment? That's what we really want to see. We want to see consistent payment history of all of your accounts that appear on your credit report. So if it appears on there, we're going to ask about it. However, we're only going to look back 6 months.
Phenomenal. Drop your questions in the chat. Drop your questions in the chat. I'm going to go back, Hakeem, and make sure we didn't miss anything off the notes that I had. The course is free. For the person that's asking, how much is the course is free. Typically, if anyone's charging you for a first-time home buyer course, you may want to turn the other way. You may want to say thank you for their services and turn the other way. But normally, the first-time home buyer course that's given in the cities or in the counties, or even people that are certified to give the program, typically don't charge anything for it.
Yep, that is correct. And of course, just check with your HUD-approved certified counselor as to what the fees are, if there are any. Because remember, this just launched 24 hours ago, so I really have no idea what they're charging. But I do know that most of them have been free up to this point. We will get back to you in regards to the cost for that. But I think you're absolutely right, Jeff. I think it's definitely on the house for this one, because remember, these are nonprofit organizations. And the purpose of their nonprofit is to make sure they're reinvesting anything that they receive from the government back into the community.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Just bringing the room back once again. Excited for you guys being here. We'll probably be another 10 minutes and then we'll let you guys go. But I'm excited to also share with you guys, she doesn't even know this, but a title company that understands the program, ready to close, excited to get you guys into home ownership. We have title experts in the room as well. So if you could just drop your information out here. Once they find a house, they have the lender who's Hakeem, they got to go to a title company. They got to make sure there's no liens, there's no violations. They got to make sure they get clear and marketable title. So it wouldn't be me if I didn't notice the owner, the CEO of Agent CEO, the owner of Title Experts, the owner of Mortgage Experts in the room with us today. So just drop your information.
Listen, I'm super excited. I just told my husband this. I'm here in Orlando at the first football game for UCF. But let me tell you something, an opportunity to get some people in some homes. I'm always willing to have the conversation. My husband said, we're in a game. I said, but I'm working. We just did an impromptu homebuyer workshop. Let's go, baby.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. We always working. Check what time it is. I could have sworn it was just noon.
All right. Hey, in response to that, the one thing that sets the average from the non-average, which is us that are here today, is having the information, having it firsthand, and being able to gurgitate it to our buyers, to our sellers, and to the others in the industry. So just want to throw out some fires to everyone that's in here that happens to be a real estate professional that says, man, I could be anywhere tonight, but I'm in here grabbing the information. And with that being said, there's a question that says, where can we find the list of HUD-approved first-time homebuyer 8 hours course? Shirley, we got that information for you. We're going to get it out. So make sure you registered to be in here tonight so that we can send that information out to you.
All right, Jeff, man, you are on the ball today.
All right, so Hakeem, I think another question that we need to touch up on, and then what we'll do is we'll open it up for everyone else who has any final questions, is if I decide to wait next year, or I decide to wait September 2023, do you see this program still being around, or do you guys see yourself running out of funds? What I understand is that you guys were allocated about $15 billion to put towards this. Is this a first time, first come, or is this something that I can reserve my seat right now and purchase later on? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, that's an excellent question. So yes, you are right. We have a $15 billion, billion with a B, commitment to our once marginalized communities. So the question is, will this program be around for next year? We strongly do believe it will, and here's why. The $15 billion commitment is mostly in regards to our other programs, such as the American Home Grant and the down payment grant. That's what that's mostly dedicated for. Now, this community affordable loan solution, it still is just a conventional loan. However, we're just making sure that we are helping with the down payment and the closing costs. And so far, since within the 24-hour period, we've had nothing but great feedback on this program. So since we now have the momentum, we now have the community's support, there is no reason that I see currently right now for us to stop this program anytime soon, because this is a pilot. This is a pilot program. I know we have the entire United States that we're going to be dealing with. However, we're not going to be doing that yet. We'll be using this as a pilot. We want to see how this goes. We want to see how successful this is going to be, especially when it comes to the Black and Hispanic community. Once we get some feedback on how that runs, then we can talk about future expanding. But right now, we're not talking about any type of removal of this plan anytime soon.
But as we know, the early bird gets the worm. So guys, get in the room, get in the space, get with Hakeem, get qualified right now, get your buyers qualified if you happen to be a realtor in the room with us tonight. Hakeem, interest rates, man, this is important. People are saying, wow, you guys are giving us free money. That must mean it must be a 7%, 8%, 11% interest rates. What's the discussion on the interest rates?
Right. Okay. So what is the discussion on the interest rates? When it comes to this program, the interest rates will still be on par, and most importantly, very competitive to what you're seeing out there with other traditional lenders. This community affordable loan solutions does not give you a higher interest rate. It's not going to do that. It gives you the par interest rate based upon your credit history. Now, we already know that the Federal Reserve's mission is to get interest rates this time next year into the double digits. The reason for that is because they want to try to drive down the heated market of the heated demand of the real estate market. So by driving up the interest rates incrementally, not suddenly, but incrementally over time, that also brings down the demand of the price. So they're trying to establish what is called market equilibrium, where the interest rate justifies the home price. Now, the idea is that they don't want to shoot the interest rates up too high, causing payment shock and rushing us into an immediate recession. The plan is to kind of land the plane smoothly. We don't want the market prices to go into a nosedive. So by slightly increasing them over time, you have a stabilized market. That's the plan for the Federal Reserve. Will they succeed? I guess we will see by next year. But the idea right now is that if you are able to purchase, if you are able to at least find out more information about this program, the least we want to do is try to get in where we fit in. I think that's what my grandma always says, get in where you fit in. Get in while you can. See, right now, today's current market interest rates are in the range of 5 and 6.5%. Just last month, they was in a range of 4 and 5.5%. If there is an opportunity to purchase, let's lock in those interest rates now. Let's lock in those home prices now so that we don't have to worry about what's going to happen next year or in the future, if you can help it.
Hey, so regardless, so what I picked up from this, and thank you so much for that, Hakeem, regardless of no minimum credit score required, as you do understand, the better your score is, the better the rate's going to be. So if it's credit repair that you need, go out there, get your credit fixed, pay off those payments that you owe, pay off those collections, and get the best rate that you possibly can as you tap into this program. I see two more questions in here. Is it fixed or is it a variable rate? It's definitely a fix. It's a 30-year. Any other questions or any final comments as we end the last 6 minutes with everyone in the room, Hakeem?
Yes, I do have a few comments, and I would love to open it up for more questions. I know that everybody would like my phone number, but I wanted to take it one step further. On this call, I'm going to make sure that I give you my website link. So with this web link, you're not only going to get my phone number, you're going to be able to get all of my contact information, as well as the website where you can access the real estate center. I saw, Brother Jeff, that you was able to put the link in the chat, but just in case the chat was filling up with so many questions, I'm going to resend it with my website. On there, you have access to what the interest rates are in real time, access to the real estate center, and you also have access to our video webinar series, where we break down the home buying process from start to finish in a video on demand for you. So while you're in the office, if you can watch YouTube, you can educate yourself. So I'm going to put that in the website. I'm going to put that in the chat below so that everyone would have it. And most of all, everyone on this call today could have been doing something else. But the fact that you took the time today to educate yourself on this program, to be on the cutting edge instead of the bleeding edge, tells me a lot about your spirit, a lot about your enthusiasm, a lot about your ambition to be a homeowner. Most importantly, to be the leader for your clients when it comes to home ownership. And I just want to say, I appreciate you all, and I appreciate your time. And it's been an absolute plum privilege, as well as a pleasure, to be on the call with you today.
Hey, just love it, man. Just love it. Hey, we got one final question, and we'll let everyone go. But they're talking about 203K loans on top of this program. They're talking about stacking grants from other cities, in other counties, or other grants. Is that possible, Hakeem, or is it not?
Yes, absolutely. The best thing about this program is that it's just as flexible as a traditional conventional loan, because in its nature, that's what it is. So when it comes to the 203K loan, Bank of America does not do FHA 203K loans anymore. We discontinued that. However, there are other community grant programs in your county that you can stack this on top of. So if you live in North Carolina, you live in Texas, you live in Detroit, and you know about the affordable housing programs in your county, you can stack this on top of those programs. So you can make sure that you're getting the double barrel benefit.
Phenomenal. I thought it was great, man. I thought it was great. Just want to thank you for your time once again. Any final comments or remarks from anyone? Anything else that we should be looking for from Bank of America? Anywhere where we should be getting the most recent information from Bank of America? I understand it's your website, but anywhere else that we need to be tapping into so that we stay current on the information that's being provided to us?
Yeah, man. Just keep on the lookout. We're trying to we're doing a lot of marketing for this program. Tune your radios, keep on the lookout for articles, stay connected to your realtors, because they're going to be getting the information firsthand, and they're going to be able to demystify everything that you're hearing out there. One thing I wanted to leave before we let you all go is that this program is not based on your ethnic group. I saw a lot on Instagram, and the reason why we're actually talking on Zoom today is because, of course, I can't use Instagram for this type of dialogue. But I did see on Instagram, a lot of people said that this loan is only meant for Black people, or this loan is only meant for Hispanics. That's not true. This loan is meant for everyone. However, we want to make sure that if there's any type of financing, we're putting it back into our communities. So this program is not ethnically based, it's geographically based. So I just wanted to make sure we got that clear. So when you guys, you know, go on Twitter and Instagram and you see that comment pop up, you're able to offer intelligent responses to those.
Hey, Akeem, as I literally, folks, fell out of my seat. Can you repeat that for the folks in the back once again?
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely, man. This loan is not ethnically based. It is geographically based. Just because we are investing within the predominantly Black and Hispanic communities does not mean it's only meant for Black and Hispanics within the community. Everyone has an opportunity of home ownership, and we will not deny that opportunity to anyone.
Amazing, man. Just want to thank you once again for your time. The information was great. As you can see, the comments in the room, they're loving the information. They are loving the information. Just want to make sure I didn't miss any questions before we let everyone out. If anyone wants to unmute themselves, they're welcome to do that at this moment.
And thank you again, Jeff. Thank you so much for accommodating accommodating me with this. I know it was last minute, but I thank you so much for squeezing me in, inviting me onto your panel. I'm grateful. I won't take this for granted.
Hey, brother, each and every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I always go live with the most recent information. So if you don't have your notifications on, you want to go over to Instagram right now and turn your notifications on for me. But I was like, man, if I can give the information, that's one thing. But if I can get someone from Bank of America and have them provide the information, that's even better. So just excited to be with you, brother. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your yes. As Ray Cole said, was this impromptu? It truly was. I text Hakeem maybe about 6:45, and I said, hey, I'm going live about Bank of America. I need a favor. He says, what is it, Jeff? I said, can you come on my live? And he says, I definitely can. And he comes back and he says, wait a minute, we can't do it on Instagram, but I can definitely do it on Zoom. So just excited to be here with you guys. He mentioned the realtors, guys. So one thing before we close out, I wasn't even going to touch about this, but if you're not a part of this organization, rather you be a realtor, rather you be a buyer in this room today, you definitely want to go ahead and follow NARAB-SF.com on your web browser, or on Instagram at NARABSF, which is an organization that provides an opportunity for Black and brown peoples to come together and basically say, hey, home ownership is definitely an obtainable thing. So what their slogan is about is creating democracy in housing. So excited that he used that word realtist, as it is not a realtor, it is a realtist, which is a person that is a part of the organization, because back in 1947, people that look like me, the person that you see on the screen today, would not have been recognized or would not have been allowed to be a part of NAR, which is the National Association of Realtors, therefore would not have allowed to be a real estate professional. So I thank NARAB, I thank being a realtist, and I thank you, Hakeem. You guys make it a great night. Catch you guys next time.